That's correct. We spoke with one of the plaintiffs who says that she was fired for not being a yes man, for not.
Henyard's power struggle with Freeman highlights the increasingly precarious nature of her leadership. Despite her attempts to sideline the board and dictate terms unilaterally, she faces mounting opposition on multiple fronts. The board's resistance, combined with Freeman's resilience and possible federal cooperation, signals a shift in the power dynamics within Dalton's administration. Her recent moves, including the questionable appointment of key figures without board approval, have only served to alienate her further from those who might have once supported her. These actions reinforce the image of a leader losing control, resorting to increasingly desperate tactics to maintain a semblance of authority. At a recent public meeting, Tiffany Henyard refused to let the Board of Trustees' rejection of her appointments deter her. Instead, she took to the stage dramatically, blaming the controversy on a massive propaganda operation aimed at destroying her reputation. "This is all just a smear campaign," Henyard asserted, "designed to harm my name." Despite her fiery defense, it was clear that the residents of Dalton were growing increasingly weary of her antics. One attendee, a bold voice from the crowd, courageously spoke out saying, "This isn't a question. This is me making my statement. If you don't want to hear this, there's the door. This is about your super mayor becoming too powerful too quickly." Henyard, however, remained unfazed. She responded to the criticism with deflection, claiming her actions were misunderstood and that the backlash was part of a larger conspiracy against her. "Because I'm so uncommon and different, everyone has issues with me," she said. "But I'm doing what's right for the town, and that's why people don't understand me." Her defiant response only further highlighted the growing disconnect between her and the community she once claimed to champion. Mounting legal and financial controversies. The fallout from Henyard's increasingly erratic behavior has extended beyond her strained relationship with Freeman and the Board of Trustees. The legal drama surrounding her administration is escalating rapidly, with multiple controversies unfolding. One of the most high-profile scandals involves Henyard's alleged misuse of taxpayer funds. She has been accused of egregiously misappropriating funds, including an astonishing $67,000 in travel expenses for herself and her entourage in just 5 months. When additional taxpayer-funded fees are factored in, the total rises to over $100,000. Her lavish spending on trips and personal expenses has raised eyebrows, leading many to question her judgment and ethics. Some speculate that her extravagant spending is part of a larger scheme. To that end, she recently hired a criminal attorney to represent the village, an unusual move that many believe is an effort to shield herself from mounting legal pressure. Notably, the village will reportedly foot the bill for these legal expenses, further fueling suspicions that Henyard is using public funds to protect herself. Meanwhile, Henyard has attempted to deflect attention from these allegations by insisting her actions have been misunderstood. "We cleaned up the village when we took over," she declared, crediting her leadership for improvements in Dalton. However, her claims have been met with widespread skepticism as residents continue to grapple with legal battles, questionable spending, and growing unrest within the administration. Allegations of retaliation and corruption, the legal challenges, and controversies surrounding Henyard's leadership continue to pile up at an alarming rate. In addition to the lawsuits filed by former employees, her administration has been accused of favoritism, retaliation, and unethical governance. For example, a local barbershop owner has accused Henyard's administration of deliberately blocking his business license, allegedly as a tactic to suppress his business. In another case, former maintenance manager Dwayne Thrashpapsas revealed that members of Henyard's inner circle tried to enlist him in a shady scheme to replace the school board's attorney with one of their own preferred candidates. When Thrash refused, he was swiftly fired, further fueling suspicions about the toxic and unethical environment within her administration. The impact of Henyard's autocratic leadership has been deeply felt. Beyond the growing list of terminated employees, mounting allegations suggest that her administration has targeted individuals who pose a political threat to her. Growing opposition from former allies as her grip on power in Dalton and Thornton Township continues to erode. Henyard is now facing resistance from within her own ranks. In a shocking turn of events, she suffered a significant setback from an unexpected source. Carmen Cazo, a trustee on the Thornton Township Board, and a former Henyard ally. Cazo publicly denounced Henyard, accusing she, Tiffany Henyard's once firm grasp on power is rapidly slipping as scandals, questionable decisions, and internal betrayals continue to plague her leadership in Dalton and Thornton Township. While Henyard has done everything in her power to maintain control, ranging from severing ties with former allies to employing questionable legal tactics, the cracks in her administration are becoming more evident. One of the most glaring examples of her growing instability is the ongoing power struggle between Henyard and Keith Freeman, the village administrator whose position has remained intact despite her repeated efforts to remove him. Unlike the many employees she has terminated in the past, Freeman appears to be on safer ground, possibly due to mounting evidence of Henyard's questionable practices. His continued role in the administration, despite his strained relationship with Henyard, suggests that he may hold something of significant value, potentially evidence of Henyard's alleged corruption, making him a powerful figure in this unfolding drama. Adding to Henyard's troubles, 3 former employees have filed lawsuits against her, accusing her of wrongful termination. These legal battles threaten to further undermine her already fragile leadership. Amid these challenges, rumors have surfaced suggesting that Freeman may be working with federal investigators and could possess concrete evidence of Henyard's alleged corruption. This speculation has led many to believe that her attempts to dismiss him are not driven by concerns over his job performance or insubordination, but rather by fear that his cooperation with authorities could expose the full extent of her misdeeds. Henyard reportedly tried to remove Freeman hastily, but her plans were thwarted when the Board of Trustees renewed its support for him. His continued presence in the administration has placed Henyard at a crossroads, unable to regain full control, as the situation spirals beyond her grasp. The tension between them escalated during a recent meeting when Henyard attempted to appoint replacements for key positions without proper board approval. This controversial move was widely criticized as another desperate attempt to consolidate power amid growing dissent. For now, Freeman retains his position, and the power struggle within the administration shows no signs of abating. The Board of Trustees has largely backed Freeman, resisting Henyard's unilateral decisions. This standoff has unexpectedly left Freeman in a strong position, particularly as rumors persist about his cooperation with federal authorities. Should he indeed possess proof of Henyard's misconduct, his continued role in the administration could pose a significant threat to her already crumbling authority. Despite mounting opposition and increasing pressure, Henyard has not relented. She recently demonstrated her defiance by conducting a town meeting as if the absence of the Board of Trustees was inconsequential. This unilateral approach mirrors previous instances in which she has disregarded standard protocols and procedures, sidelining checks and balances within her administration. Her actions have been met with growing frustration from the board, residents, and legal observers, further amplifying the perception of her as an embattled leader, determined to cling to power by any means necessary.